Hey guys, it's Eternia here, and today I'm going to be talking about the balance update in the Lifeblood expansion that's coming on 24th of October. This is a balance change, mostly balance changes that are focusing on Tech 1 frigates, destroyers, and cruisers. There's a bit of information here about, the balance changes are going to be more frequent, going to see more module and ship balance, and new mechanics coming to EVE, really good stuff. This is exactly what I wanted to see from the CCP development team, especially when I was on CSM. This is the right kind of thing that I wanted to see. So anyway, I don't want to talk too much about that. I kind of want to just talk about the individual changes, the nerfs, the buffs. There are a few nerfs, but they're mostly buffs. So the first one is the Rifter. It's getting +1 low slot, and it's losing a high slot. So the Rifter was in a bad place for a while. I think the problem with the Rifter is that the bonuses aren't synergistic on it. The fall-off bonus doesn't really work well with the utility high, because if you're kiting into fall-off, you're not using the utility high. If you're in range where you're using the utility high, then you're not using the fall-off bonus really effectively. And it was kind of stuck between the Slasher and the Breacher in that regard. The Breacher is a very strong scram kiter, much better than the Rifter is at scram kiting. It just has more options with rockets, more flexible damage options. It has the tank bonus. Dual tank breacher is just a staple in FW. It's been a powerful ship ever since it was rebalanced in Retribution. And Slasher, just because it has the cap reduction bonuses on scrams and webs, has better cap per second overall, and it has a very low sig. It's faster. The Slasher was always the better brawler, like at really close range. Just because, and also the 4 mid 2 low layout was a bit better, because you could run like AB scram, tracking disruptor, MSAB, and fits like that, which just made it more powerful at going under people's guns, mitigating DPS, using the new, if you wanted to play like a slower play style up close. So the Rifter was kind of, I think, stuck between those two ships, and with this change, the extra low slot, you can scram kite now a bit stronger with a 200mm plate, or you can get another tank module on there, or another gyro. It's probably still not going to replace the Breacher in that. I don't think it's going to be better than the Breacher at long range, but it does give you that armor brawl option too, which is quite nice. And you could do like some crazy things, like make like a dual rep Rifter with a cap injector now, which is really cool. It's also a big buff to sort of artillery kiting, where the Slash and the Breacher don't really do that right now. So, you could go with an extra gyro, an extra nano, get a free MAPC, get a medium shield extender on there, because you weren't using the utility high if you're kiting. If you were ever caught in an artillery Rifter, you were dead anyway. So, yeah, great change to the Rifter. We'll see a lot more fits. I think a lot of people will be picking it up after the buff, especially in factional warfare. Be really interesting to see what comes from it. But yeah, I think the Rifter will be great now. Definitely a different option. And hey, it's cool to have a armor tanked frigate for alphas too. Next changeover is the Dragoon. The Dragoon is losing a high. It right now has 6 highs, but it's getting a mid slot for that and a bit more CPU. So this is a great change for the Dragoon. The Dragoon has always been like a control ship, but it was horrible because it had 2 mids. Like if you're in nullsec, you have to choose between micro warp drive scram, or like you can't get an injector on there, and you can't really utilize the newts effectively, because the Dragoon actually has pretty bad capacitor. So it was in a really bad spot where it wants to like play like a control style, but then it doesn't have range control, and you can't get an injector on there anyway. So the newts are kind of more auxiliary rather than an actual core part of its playstyle, like the Sentinel. So yeah, interesting. The Dragoon's getting the extra mid. I think this is going to be a big buff to factional warfare. I think the slower playstyle doesn't really fit nullsec as well. It's more about killing dudes before their friends show up in nullsec, whereas in lowsec you do have those gates. You do tend to get more 1v1. So I think the Dragoon's going to be very powerful in factional warfare with this change. Now you can go like AB scram injector, for example. You could go like scram web injector if you want to go like propless bait fit. The extra CPU makes quite a bit of a difference on a lot of fits. So yeah, Dragoon, good in low sec now. Might see it more in nullsec, and also hey, the extra mid also is great for alphas too, because now you can run like micro warp drive, cap injector, scram fits, and stuff like that. It's always nice just to have more like cool playstyles for alpha characters. The Corax is getting 150 mass reduction. It's also getting a bit more shield HP. I personally would have liked to see a bit more damage on the Corax to sort of differentiate more with the tower. The Corax currently has the huge application bonus, the 50% bonus to missile explosion velocity, which is really powerful actually, especially in low sec. A lot of people underestimate that bonus. The problem, like I said, is that the tower has the huge mitigation bonus with the minus sig from the MWD, and it's a lot faster and has a lower sig naturally, and has a more flexible layout, I think, if you want to do that light missile kite style. The Corax needs a bit more to sort of, hey, should we go with towers or should we have Coraxes in this situation? I don't think this is really going to change that. But this is a good change. You know, the Corax was unnecessarily slow. I actually have already calculated the speed changes. There's actually a Tristan nerf too in this that I'll cover in a bit. But the Corax is going from 1450 with MWD on to 1530. Good. You know, it's now going to be faster than a Mauler with a 1600 plate. The agility increase is pretty nice too. The Corax just flew horribly, and hopefully this is going to make it feel a lot better. It's also getting 50 more shield HP. Not sure if this is going to change too much. Might make it a bit stronger in factional warfare, low sec. You can make there was already kind of I'd say a meme fit where you fit like Scram Web, medium shield extender invul. And it's kind of just to bait people who sland on you. Especially since you can get away with rage on the Corax thanks to the huge explosion velocity bonus that it has. With one web is generally enough to apply rage DPS, so yeah, it'll buff that. I don't think we're going to see too much more of the Corax though, but yeah, it's nice that they're looking at it and they finally made it faster than a Mauler. So it's probably, in my opinion, the weakest change here. But I mean, it's still a it's still a good change in the right direction. So next up is the arbitrator, which the arbitrator it is similar to the bellicose in that it's a kind of like a hybrid combat E-warship, but it didn't really excel in either of them, just because the crucifier and the vigil get the optimal range bonuses and they're easier to keep alive because they have much better lock range and range. So the arbitrator's getting extra grid. It was really gimped on power grid. It was really hard to make a lot of arbitrator fits work. This is going to help out a ton. You know, extra 45 CPU. You know, this is before skills too, so you can multiply those by your fitting skills, and it's going to be a huge increase. It's also getting an extra launcher slot. Well, maybe you can do like a free rapid light kiting arbitrator now. That could be pretty interesting. Otherwise, you know, yeah, the arbitrator's going to be good change. Same change with the bellicose, really. It's not getting as much grid and CPU, but it's still getting more. It kind of sucked that you weren't able to... if you copy-pasted a rapid like calcal fit onto the bellicose, it didn't actually fit. And it had CPU because of CPU. And that's kind of strange to me that the bellicose was an E-warship that was really gimped on CPU. It also had really gimped range, especially with the new target painters that have like a really long fall-off. Like the bellicose used to not be able to look further than like 55 kilometers, even with max skills and no other mods. So you can't even shoot heavy missiles out to that range without a sensor booster. So yeah, this is going to help out a lot. The extra lock range is about equivalent to like a Tech 1 sensor booster with a script. So it's a great change to the bellicose. Hopefully we'll see more of it. Omen is, you know, it's always been a ship that I think is okay. It's just been too gimped on fittings and cap to work, and it's getting fittings and cap. Great changes. My dream is to be able to do a Omen Navy issue fit on the Omen with, you know, the one less low without the range bonus. And I think you can do that now with the extra 75 grid and the extra 15 CPU. It'll make the Omen a lot better. Might even start seeing it as a fleet doctrine, although I think the rapid light caracal is probably still going to be the fleet doctrine to go to for attack cruisers. But hey, you know, it's a great change. It's getting... This thing here is a... it's getting extra cap, but then they're also nerfing the cap regenerate. So the cap per second is the same as now. But the idea here is that you have the cap up front. So it takes longer for you to get capped out by newts. It takes longer for you to cap yourself out if you're running like a cap injector fit. So overall, it's just a better. It's just newt defense and just more cap up front if you're not running a cap booster, as they say, which is good. Stabber, I thought this is going to be a change that a lot of people would, you know, kind of spurg out, especially the circles that I kind of hang out in, you know, like the elite PvP group. I thought they were going to spurg out about this because the Stabber didn't actually get any like slot layout changes. The Stabber's the only attack cruiser with 4 lows and 4 mids. Every other one has at least 5 lows or at least 5 mids, and 9 mid and low slots total. The Stabber only has 8. So it's getting plus 2.5% rate of fire bonus to be, you know, now it's 7.5% per level. This is actually a huge DPS increase. Going from 25% rate of fire to 37.5% rate of fire is almost a 20% DPS increase, because 25% rate of fire is actually 33% DPS, and 37.5% rate of fire is 60% DPS. I know that might be confusing, but basically the Stabber is getting a free gyro stabilizer that uses no CPU and it's not stacking penalized. You know, that's pretty powerful when you put it like that. So the Stabber's going to be in the same niche as it was before. I don't think any fits are going to change at all on it. It's not getting any more fittings. It's not changing slot layouts. But I mean, it's kind of got that Tempest feel to it. Yeah, I mean, cool. Again, I don't think things are going to change about the Stabber, but I think the bonus is probably a lot more powerful than I think a lot of people who are kind of salty about it are sort of respected for, which is a good change. Now on to the nerfs. The Tristan is getting nerfed. It's getting an additional 88,000 mass. This is going to slow it down. It's going to nerf the kiting Tristan a bit, but it's not really going to nerf more of the brawling style Tristans all that much, because it's not an actual base speed nerf. So if you're flying like in nullsec, like an MW Scram Web Tristan, or, you know, MW Scram Injector, some other style like that, it's not actually really getting nerfed all that much. The main point here is to make it so that the kiting Tristan, which is still, you know, kind of the standard in FW low sec, probably a bit overpowered maybe. I don't think the Tristan is really that OP in nullsec anymore, ever since they did the first nerf on it in the November 2015 balance pass. But yeah, there's still a lot of them in low sec. It's the most popular PvP frigate by a long margin. So hey, maybe it needed to get nerfed. So the mass increase, let's go back here. It's going to go down from 2954 to 2808 with no modules fitted, and also it's losing some align speed here too. This is not with MWD on. This is just MWD off. It's going to take like an extra 0.28 seconds to align. With MWD on, that's going to be about 0.04. The main thing in here is that it basically makes the Tristan a bit easier to catch. It's going to be easier to slingshot and catch that the kiting Tristan. Maybe a bit easier to get away from it as well. But the nerf doesn't really affect the brawling style Tristans all that much, and it isn't really that much of a nerf anyway. I still think the Tristan will be very powerful. Probably still going to be the most popular frigate in low sec, but it's a good change. And finally, the Vexor's getting nerfed. It's losing 100 power grid. The Vexor's always been a really powerful ship just because of how versatile it is. There's, you know, just like the Tristan, there's like 10 different archetype fits so you can fit through it. The overtank fits were a bit too powerful, I think. You know, like the triple rep Vexor, or, you know, like XLSB Vexors that also have 1600 plates on them, which was possible. But those were maybe a bit too OP. I mean, we had the Vexors in the Alliance tournament that had 82k HP and did 600 DPS. I mean, that's with quad links, but I mean, the Vexor was basically a cruiser with almost battle cruiser stats, so hey, it deserved to get nerfed. They talk here about, you know, next steps: Tech 1 battle cruisers and battleships, pirate navy ships, Tech 2 classes like assault frigates and heavy assault cruisers. Hey, assault frigate buffs, cool stuff. The Caracal, one thing that I guess people will probably be talking about is the lack of a Caracal nerf. I don't think the Caracal is the most popular cruiser by a long margin, and, you know, obviously the rapid light Caracal is overpowered, but I don't think the Caracal itself is OP. If you look at heavy assault missile Caracals or rapid light Caracals, they are pretty, oh not rapid light, heavy assault and heavy missile Caracals, they're pretty balanced, honestly. they're fine. The problem is that rapid lights are overpowered with, you know, how much fittings you get. The reason why the rapid light character is so OP is because it has, you know, 37k plus effective hit points. You know, in a fleet fit you can get like 46k HP before links if you run like heated invul plus the passive EM hardener instead of a point. And, you know, once you put links into it, you know, Caracal can get like 60k HP in a fleet with great resists. So yeah, that's the reason why it's OP. But they're not going forward with the rapid light nerf anymore. I don't think that's actually mentioned in this vlog, but CCP Rise talked about that on his stream when he streamed on the CCP channel on Tuesday. You know, they saw more use of heavy missiles and heavy assault missiles and a drop off of rapid lights in such a strategic cruiser rebalance, and I think there's been some sort of like, not everyone agrees with the rapid light nerf. It was going to get range nerf, but I think a lot more people want to see a power grid nerf or a clip damage nerf. So what's really OP about the rapid lights is the fact that they give you so much fitting for free, and they do so much damage before they have to reload, not necessarily the range. And then the range nerf doesn't really address like the Cyfleet issue, the healer, and a few other powerful rapid light chips. So hey, those are the changes. I hope this video sort of helps you understand, you know, where CCP are going with this. And we're going to see a lot more changes kind of like this at a faster pace, like maybe once every 2 or 3 months, instead of, you know, kind of like how now where it's been like balance changes like maybe 6 months a year. So yeah, I'd really like to see these style of changes a lot more frequently. I believe CCP Rise will actually be streaming on Tuesday, the 11th of September. Oh, sorry, the 12th. It's the 11th today. If you guys want to like hang out with him, I think he streams at 6 p.m. Eve time, 1800 Eve time. So I mean, if you're watching this, I guess on Monday, you can go to his stream and, you know, ask him about the changes. Like I said, all of these changes are pretty good. The only one that I feel like is maybe not enough is the Corax. But again, if they're doing these like small changes every now and again, maybe they can revisit the Corax in the future. Also, you know, make sure to leave a comment, like it, because, you know, on the actual official e-forum, I'll leave a link to it too, just to, you know, show that these, you know, these are the kind of balance changes that we really, really want. More frequent changes like this. Thanks for watching. You know, I hope this video helped, etc.